I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kasich, and today, this is my Mandalorian Season 1 review. So, basically the show is actually the first real-life action Star Wars TV show. It's currently on the Disney+. The Season 2 has been greenlit, and I think it's coming out this year, near the end of this year. I mean, there's a lot of things we get. I think we get to kind of look forward to the end of this year as things are opening up. I mean, this year, what's been going on? 2020 was supposed to be the best year yet. I guess you could say, and it turned out to be the worst year. So at least we got to look forward to stuff like Mandalorian Season 2. I think it's going to still come out this year. I mean, I don't know, because with the whole delay, with the things going on, I don't even know if they did production, or still doing production. It's still possible to come out this year. I can't remember exactly if it's still coming out this year or next year, but I know Black Widow still is coming out in November. Stuff like that. So there's still some good things still coming out this year. So hopefully, still things this year still ends up kind of in a good way and not end badly. Here's hoping. But so back to the topic at hand. The Mandalorian is actually set 5 years after the Return of the Jedi, and it's 25 years before the events of The Force Awakens. It follows the story of a lone gunslinger in the Outer Rims. They call him the Mandalorian. Now, specifically, there is more than one Mandalorian. I think we find out in the end what his real name was. I can't remember what it was offhand. But basically, he's in the Outer Rim. He's a bounty hunter, and he's what's set up is a huge action scene where he captures a guy in a bar. If I recall, that is the beginning, hopefully, and basically gets a bounty. Obviously, that's what he's meant to do. Then he doesn't get much for this bounty. He's looking for something big, and so he goes back to the Hunters Guild, and that's where we meet the character Greef Karga. Greef Karga it is. And now Greef Karga, he he gets a job from him. Now he gets intel from Greef Karga about this client who's for a mission who's been paying a lot. So the Mandalorian on the planet meets that guy. And so the guy kind of tells him he's looking for this person, 50-year-old, and I will pay you in this metal. I can't remember exactly what the metal was. I should know what it is, considering I'm a Star Wars fan, because it is the metal that is used to create Mandalorian suits, or Mandalorian armor, I mean. That metal, basically he gets paid 1 bar starting off, and then he gets the rest later once he brings in the person. So he actually goes to his people that are on the planet, and there's not many of them, which we learn later that the reason why there's not many of them is because of a purge on the Mandalore. So he got affected by that. So they have things in there to add to his armor. Alright, and so that's kind of what it is. So then he goes on his mission, and essentially he eventually he lands on the planet where the thing is, and basically he meets this guy named Queel, a Ognat. And so basically he's a farmer, and Queel helps him find where his bounty is, and that's where he goes. There's a bunch of people out down there, and so the Mandalorian tries to figure out the best way to get the bounty and take people out, and or take the baggers, or the not baggers, or whatever you want to call it, because the people there they has to take out when a assassin droid comes in, played by Taika Waititi. Sorry, I should know. Taika Waititi. There we go. Which, if you know him, he is the director of Thor Ragnarok, the best of the Thor movies, as well as he's going to be the director as for Thor Love and Thunder, and he also plays Korg in the MCU, the rock dude. So he also played in Green Lantern, but that's another story. Now basically the droid and him create a deal to split the bounty by taking helping each other take down everyone, which they do, and they find the bounty. They found out the bounty is a species that's part of Yoda. Well, they don't know Yoda, and they don't know the species, but it looks like a baby. But if you know Yoda, who lives several years, you know they're probably the lifespan of each each stage of a person is probably spread out long periods of time in the Yoda species, or whatever Yoda's species is, which we do not know. And I frankly hope they never reveal that. As a Star Wars fan, you should not want that revealed, because that's the whole thing about Star Wars is the theories. There's so many theories, and it kind of, that's what makes people like about it. And if they just start answering everything, that kind of causes a problem. And Yoda's secret has always been a secret. That's George Lucas has always wanted it that way. Fans want it that way. The problem is now it's owned by Disney, and so they might do something that we may not like. I know a lot of people don't like the sequel trilogy. I don't really have a problem with the sequel trilogy, except for the fact how they treated Luke Skywalker. But other than that, but people might get more mad if they, dive in Yoda's backstory and his planet and his species. People will not want that. Okay? But basically, since those lifespans are bigger, most likely the state of being a baby for whatever Yoda species is longer. And so what looks like Baby Yoda, or what they call people, everyone, much to my annoyance, because it's not Baby Yoda, and I'm really mad when people call it Baby Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda. It is, okay, it's just the species of Yoda, okay, whatever. Basically is 50 years old, actually. So, it's not even, so that's kind of there. And so IG-8, I think it's IG-88 is actually the droid. Basically, he has the wrong idea. He thought he had to kill the baby. And so, basically, the Mandalorian, after looking at the child, shoots the assassin droid because of that. So yeah, that's kind of, and so that's kind of where that leads. Then he takes the the child to the client, where he gets the rest of his bounty, and then he gets on his armor. But then he decides, okay, what are they going to do with that creature? I don't want to leave it there, and I start. So the Mandalorian goes back and gets the baby, and that's kind of the whole point of this story, is basically protecting the child. He meets friends along the way, like Clara Dune, and that's kind of the whole point. Eventually, at the end, I forget why they go back to planet. I mean, this has been a while since the season, I know, so I can't remember everything. But basically, he meets, goes along back to the planet. I forgot why, but basically, with I think it has reason why, something that has to do with Greel. I think Greel calls them back. Yeah, I think that's why. But you had basically Cara Dune's with her, and Queel goes along too, because I think they wanted to finally finish this, because they keep getting caught after by the people who want the baby. Now, when he took the baby, the Hunters Guild actually went after him, and he basically Mandalorian took a lot of them out, but he was kind of outnumbered, and that's when the rest of his Mandalorian people came to help him, and he was able to escape. So right now, Clara, no, why did I say Greel? Grief. What is it? Grief. Sorry, Grief. I don't know why I keep saying Greel. My bad. So Grief, right. So Grief, basically, they were on the best terms. And so when they go back, basically, eventually at the end, Grief does join the Mandalorian on his side. But unfortunately, when they get back, they tried to take out the stormtroopers and stuff, and everything, and that were on the occupying planet, because apparently the Imperials are behind the client, who really want Baby Yoda, or what? I'm sorry, the Yoda child. They call it the kid. The show, that's what I should call it, the kid, and so they kind of get trapped in the place where Grief usually is at, giving people their missions and stuff, stuff like that. And basically they give Queel the kid, and he's trying to get back to the ship. Unfortunately, stormtroopers on their bikes, hover bikes, basically were able to attack, basically killed Queel and got Baby Yoda. But Baby Yoda throughout the series has been getting stronger in the Force, and actually takes out all of them, or takes out the stormtroopers. So that's actually pretty interesting. And what I forgot how they recapture Baby Yoda. I'm sorry, I'm really, but eventually they were able to get Baby Yoda. They were actually able to escape. They were basically, we find this character in charge who wants Baby Yoda is Moff Gideon, Moff Gideon, who is basically there now. These are all ex-Imperials, basically because the Empire has been defeated, and so he's just letting the power go to his head and think he's in charge and whatever. And so he wants the Baby Yoda, and so that's what causes this whole fiasco. But they were able to escape. Mandalorian was actually injured pretty bad in the process of all this, but they were able to escape. Now, Moff Gideon they were able to get the baby, and they were kind of trying to get out. And Moff Gideon takes a TIE fighter and tries to go after them, and basically I can't remember if the Mandalorian or someone else, but someone knocks down his TIE fighter thinking he's dead, and they were able to escape and leaves. But we found out at the very end, Gideon actually walks out with the Darksaber. So he was actually in the purge of the Mandalore. So that's how he actually knows who the Mandalorian is, and that's how we kind of find out who the Mandalorian is. And so that's kind of where he's at with that. But yeah, that's kind of where the series ends. It's an overall great series. Now, throughout this, there's a character in the series played by what's it called? What's her name? I should know her name. Ming-Na Wen. Ming-Na Wen. And now, if you don't know who she plays May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. As well, she did play Milan in the Disney movies, the animated ones, not the real life action. I don't know if was that still. I don't think it was released to the theater, or when it was. This all started, I think. So I don't know if that's out on DVD or not. I don't know what they currently did with the live action Mulan, but yeah. She did not last long in the show. She was in one episode before killing her character, which was really annoying because I feel like they could have used her character more, but it is what it is. But overall, the characters are really interesting. The show was great. People liked it, and can't wait for second season. So, it's like Disney hasn't done everything wrong. So, the movies, most people thought they did those wrong, but everything else, pretty much Disney's been doing well. The books have been pretty popular too. People like those. So, but overall, Mandalorian was really good. I enjoyed it. If I had to get it right, just really, it was a 10. It was really good, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. My YouTube channel, website link, and Twitter is down in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.